So what we're going to do now is we're going to use the quadratic formula, but now we're going to use our knowledge of radicals to simplify stuff. So for example, let's say I have f of x equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. And I want to find, and the instructions are going to be find the zeros, which is another word for find the x-intercepts. So we're going to find the x-intercepts. How do you find x-intercepts? What we do is we make f of x equal to 0. So 0 equals x squared minus 4x plus 1. Out, we have something in the ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So that means we could use the quadratic formula. So that's going to be x equals, and so very quickly our a is going to be 1, our b is going to be -4, our c is going to be 1. So plugging things in, x is minus b, which is minus -4, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, extend the square root to cover the whole thing, over 2 times 1. So it's going to give us 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared is 16. So it's going to be 16 minus 4 over 2, which is 4 plus or minus the square root of 12 over 2. Ooh, but now we know something different. We're more knowledgeable than we were in previous times. So we're going to kind of do an aside here. So as an aside, we could simplify root 12. So root 12 is equal to root 4 times root 3, which is equal to 2 root 3. So that's our root 12. So going back to the mainline equation, what we know is we know that x equals 4 plus 2 root 3 over 2. Now, we're going to do some extra simplifying here at this point. So we know that x is 4 plus, we're going to do a common factor, and we're going to common factor out a 2 from the top. So it's going to be 2, take out 4 divided by 2 is 2, 2, 3 divided by 2 just gives us root 3, that should be plus minus, that should also be plus minus, over 2. This 2 is multiplied by its line, that 2 is multiplied by its line, which means that these 2's cancel. And so x equals 2 plus or minus root 3. So just to reiterate, if we have the equation x squared minus 4x plus 1 equals 0, there's two solutions, and the solutions are that x equals 2 plus root 3, and the other solution is that x equals 2 minus root 3. Okay, let's try another one. 4x squared minus 4x minus 1. So we have, let's quickly mark it. Our a is 4, our b is -4, our c is -1. Okay. So we know that x equals minus b minus -4 plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times -1 all over 2 times 4. That was a bit messy. I'll try to make it bigger and neater. 4 plus or minus the square root of -4 squared is 16. Minus 4 times -1 is actually plus 16. Might be tempting to make it -16, but it's not. Over 8. So x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 32 over 8. We're going to have to do some side magic here. So we're going to simplify root 32. So root 32 is root 16 times root 2, which is 4 root 2. Like that. So root 32 is root 16 root 2 over 4 root 2. So then we get x equals 4 plus or minus 4 root 2 over 8. And I'm going to common factor out of 4 from the top. 4 equals 1 plus or minus root 2 over 8. This simplifies. We could divide both by 4 into 1 and 2. And that's going to give us 1 times 1 plus root 2 over 2. Or, put another way, x is, that should be a plus or minus, 1 plus or minus root 2 on 2. And that would be the x-intercepts of this equation, because we would get that by making that 0.